This is the Stockwell-Eldridge Show, giving you the real-time information you need to make educated decisions about buying and selling in the world-renowned Twin Cities. Now your hosts and real estate experts, Jason Stockwell and Dawn Eldridge.
Good morning, Twin Cities. This is Dawn Eldridge with RE/MAX Results. Jason Stockwell is running behind today, so we are in the house with Sparkles. Miss
Right. Good
Stephanie
morning.
Havel, the fabulous Wells Fargo Wonder Woman.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning. It's great to be here. St. Patrick's Day weekend. We're talking about some shenanigans and tomfoolery, and wore the green in honor of.
Do you know what they do at the schools? They put green dye in the toilets.
Oh, really?
Yes, they do. And then they also put little leprechaun footprints throughout the place.
Oh,
and a little pot of
cute.
gold that the kids get to find. It's kind of fun.
I was going to say, are the toilets in honor of, like, in Chicago when they dye the river green. And
Well, then they
everything
get
else.
green milk and green food all day.
It's so fun. It's
I'm
such
just
a
joking.
fun day. I drink green beer, so what the heck, you know?
So we have Ryan Larson with us today, too. He is with Anderson Insurance and Investment Agency. Once again, adding value to the program.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, thanks for coming. We're excited to have you. Ryan is so with it that he showed up a couple weeks early. We had a little miscommunication on our end. It was not his fault, and he was kind enough to join us again today, so we're really excited to have him. And we were
Awesome.
chatting out there, and he's got some great information for you. So we're going to talk a little bit about the market update.
All right, what's going on? It's getting, the recent, everybody's panicking because the Fed raised the funds rate, and everybody was nervous about that. And I'm seeing all these people on Facebook and, and so we can kind of talk like it's not, so rates, we pretty much had it built into the pricing already. So most people aren't even going to notice a difference in the mortgage rates.
Oh, that's good.
Really? Yeah. I mean, I think everybody, sometimes people hear and they get misinformation and think, oh my gosh, it's, what's I can't think of the word I'm looking for, like Armageddon or something like
Yeah.
that. Oh my gosh, rates are going to go up. Okay, people, we're still
Real
under.
estate's going to tank.
Yeah, we're still, if your interest rate, most of them still start with a 4. So we're in good news. Those listeners that were around in the 80s and so forth,
Right.
knew their houses were at 18%. People were still moving and buying. So anyway, I apologize. I interrupted you.
No, that's
but-
good. I never knew that banks would kind of figure in advance for an adjustment by the Fed. So that I think that's really helpful information. I've been a realtor
Right.
13 years, and I never knew that.
Oh, really? Yeah. We,
So-
and the thing is, too, with Wells Fargo, pretty much everybody watches us. We always feel like they're, Donald Trump talks about wiretapping. We feel like maybe they're always wiretapping Wells Fargo lines to find out what we're doing in terms of pricing and.
Kind of, you're one of the big ones.
Well, yeah, we're the
Yeah.
number one lender in the nation. So, but trends and so forth. So we have our, economists watching the trends and economics and so forth, so we can, monitor the pricing and so forth, and kind of keep it as as stable as possible, in a moving market. But
Right. So when the Feds raise the rates, just talking for the general public here, if you're already locked into a rate, it won't affect that, correct?
correct. Yep. Once you lock into a rate, you're locked in typically 60 days, maybe shorter term, 30 days and so forth. But yeah, once you lock in, you're guaranteed that rate. So, I mean, it is going to interest rates are going to rise. That's, what we expect. Of course, we've been saying that for, 5-6 years now, and it really hasn't had any significant increase in
No.
rates. But,
Up
but I
and down.
think, yeah, but I think with everything, all the economic indicators, the economy is strong, the job market's strong, we're probably going to see that. So yeah, it's really, if you've got that house and you're thinking about it, it's, once you get that purchase agreement and ready to move, we do really suggest that you lock into your rate.
Well, it's interesting. Last night I was out for happy hour with some of my colleagues. So I was out with another lender, and I was also out with the title company.
Mm-hmm.
And it was interesting hearing the two different thoughts on what they thought was going to happen with the market. So the title company thought that in a couple years we're going to have kind of a downturn in the market. Mm-hmm. But the lender was like, nope, we are on a bull run for many, many years to come.
Right.
And I was like, well, I like that thought process way better.
Yeah.
Because people have been saying, why don't you put your house on the market? I love my house. And it puts me in a panic, actually, to think about selling it because I've got 2 boys.
Right.
I don't have everything in order in my life. And I'm like, I can't do that.
Well, I think we
But-
learned a lot from the housing crisis and the
Yeah.
housing bubble and all that kind of stuff. And have you been in the business for a while too, Ryan? Or?
15 years.
Okay, yeah. So you rode off
So
the
you've
storm
seen
too.
it
with
too.
Oh, yeah.
Insurance and loss and things like that. But, and that's where we're seeing a lot too. People are feeling frustrated with appraised value and wanting to refinance or
Yep.
purchases and appraisals not coming in quite where they thought their property was because the values aren't appreciating as rapidly as they were back in the day. But I also think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
That they're, typically real estate will increase 3 to 5% on average each
Yes,
year. Is that
yes.
what the statistic is or something? So
It is. And even in our world, we're seeing appraisals not coming in. So I'm always really working with that appraiser. So is Jason, our whole team. We're trying to make sure that they get the right comps for the house.
Right.
Because some appraisers don't know the area. And so it's really
Right.
helpful to be able to, tell them, here's a list of all the updates that the property has had since this person has bought. And here's the cost of them. And then also supply comps for them and also talk about things that they may not know about. Like in the city of Richfield, they're creating a whole kind of like a whole park area between 66 and 35W. And I've been driving down the street, seeing all these houses being torn down, wondering what is going on. And then I found out yesterday that that's what they're doing. And I think that's awesome.
That's
they're going to make
amazing.
that like downtown Richfield, that section. I think that's really
Awesome.
cool and very forward thinking. I
Right.
love the city of Richfield. They are awesome. They do so much to help build up their city.
Right. Well, and I think, you talk about, where the economy is going. I mean, obviously it's going to depend on the Trump administration and, how the next 4 years go. But,
Hopefully it goes well because
Yeah.
it'll benefit us all.
well, that's what we
course.
talk about. Well, I think, with the job market and so forth is improving the millennials. I mean, credit, I think more and more people are talking about are a little bit more conservative with credit, less consumer spending.
Yep.
With the Fed rate, that means credit card interest rates are going to go up a little bit. So you'll start to see an increase in that as well. So, but yeah, I think, the parade of homes is still going on,
Oh,
right?
yeah. Yep.
In full swing. And,
Yeah, we're at Roseville Garden Station 12 to 6, Thursday through Sunday. So go down and say hi to Diane and Jason. Casey will probably be there too.
And now, were you doing open? Now, last time Jason was giving you a hard time about doing open houses, but then I think I saw on Facebook that you held an open house.
I did. I held View Lane open. It's actually Jason and one of his business partners when he builds properties.
Okay.
A new construction. This house is phenomenal. It is so well thought out.
What city is it
It is a
in?
big house. It's Edina. It's 6,740
Wow.
square feet.
Wow.
It's huge. But all of the space is usable. It's incredible. Every single person that came through, not one single complaint about the quality. Everybody
So was it teared out?
blown
It was
away.
an existing property, and they tore it down and rebuilt. Then is that?
Yeah, and they even tore the foundation down. So some
Oh, wow.
people will rebuild on the foundation. They got rid of it.
Okay.
They actually backfilled in the lot because the original house that was there was a rambler,
Mm-hmm.
and it kind of sat below grade. It was very weird. So when you walked in, I got a chance to see it before Jason tore it down. And there was a big wall behind it, big hill. And so Jason filled all of that in, and then they came in with these amazing boulders, giant. They're probably like my height. And there's drain tile behind it. I mean, seriously, everything that you could think of is done. It's got the pot filler in the Thermador
Oh, sure.
range.
Oh, sure.
I mean, it's
So what was the
and
sentiment
a doggy wash
of the people?
There's a dog wash.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah,
that's
which you
funny.
could also use to wash the equipment for your kids.
Oh, I thought you were going to say wash the kid. Throw the,
Well, you could.
throw the
I
kid in the
would.
tub and rinse it off.
No, it's not a tub. It's a little stand-up shower. It's perfect for like
Okay.
Luke's size. Little 3-year-old could stand in
Right.
there, but they also have an indoor sport court. And so while we were there, we had 2 Edina teenagers come in, and they sang in the sport court. They're in a choir, and boy, the acoustics in there. It made me realize, wow, there's so many other things you can do in that sport court. Some people turn them into fitness rooms.
Sure.
But it was cool, and we
So
could
what was
hear
the
it.
overall sentiment of the people coming through? Like how, obviously you're having conversations with people. Are they excited about new construction or
Yes.
housing or?
Yep, they're very excited. A lot of people having trouble finding the house that they want. As we know, I mean, there's a lot of sellers that are looking and they don't want to sell until they find the right house. And as we talked about before, if all of those sellers put their house on the market, we'd probably have a couple thousand more on the market.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, right now we are currently at 9,000 homes on the market.
Oh,
So
that's
we've
good. I
increased from
remember the
last
number was
week.
8, so
yeah,
it's
last week it was
improving.
8. Yeah, and then pending sales have increased 0.3%, and new listings still down 11.9% from this time last year, which. We got to get those listings out there. Don't be scared to sell. We will find you something. We have a full inventory of pre-list, non-MLS properties, and Jason publishes the Edina Living paper. We put out buyer needs in that paper, and we get great response to that. We've
Well, and I
had
think
a couple
even,
people
with
respond.
the parade, the new construction, I'm out in Blaine, so opposite end, the next growing, they say it's the next Edina, the next fastest growing city.
They're trying.
Yeah, and it is. It's amazing.
Do you live by Blaine too, or?
No, but I'm up there quite
you're?
often. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's just amazing. But that's it's the same sentiment out. Just visiting the Parade of Homes, builders are really optimistic about what they're seeing and the model homes and so forth. And again, it all really price points. I mean, there's some in the 600,000 range, but there's also some in that 250, 300,000 range
For new construction.
Right.
That's
Yep.
fabulous.
Yeah.
It's really hard to find. I mean, that's pretty much unheard
Yeah,
of.
and Blaine,
It
I
is.
think
And Blaine is close.
It's a great city. You're
Yeah.
right off of 35W3.
Yep.
I mean, and if you have kids, okay, you're right by the National Sports Center. So
Yeah.
there you go. Is that why you're up there a lot or no?
No. I just
clients?
business needs
Okay.
here and there.
Right. Yeah, it is. I know. I always say in the summertime because I live like literally about 6 blocks from the sports center in a housing development there, and the traffic is just unbelievable. Like when they have the the USA Cup. There's like 100,000 people in town for this. I'm like, all you soccer moms in your minivans, get out of my neighborhood because what's normally a 5-minute drive turns into like a 20-minute drive because. They're all emerged, and a lot of them are staying at hotels around the area, so they're all driving into the sports center. But
Stay off Central.
yeah, well, well, that's where I live, unfortunately, right off of Central. So, and then the back roads. They all learned about the back roads now because the sports center is off the back road off Central. So, but it's good, yeah. So it was really fun just to see the all the new construction. I think just in Blaine alone, there's like 27 models in the parade.
Wow.
So.
Nice.
That's great.
Yeah, I don't
That's
know
good
if
to
there's not
hear
a
for
builder
Blaine.
that isn't represented. Yeah, so if well, it was all sod farms back in the day. So now, and the farmers are just continuing to sell off their land. So if you list, then maybe new construction's the way to go, and we can talk more about that. In the
Yeah,
next segment.
exactly. All right, I'm Dawn Eldridge with Remax Results.
I'm Stephanie Havel with Wells Fargo Home Mortgage.
Ryan Larson from the Anderson Agency.
All right, we'll be back in just a moment.
Say